Time now is 6:15. Let's go ahead and turn our attention to the forecast on this beautiful Friday Eve. Not bad, Daniel.
Yes, it looks like Thursday, Yvonne, is going to end up being the coolest day of the week, as many of us, in fact, I think most of us, are going to be staying in the 80s for those high temperatures by later this afternoon. Right now, we are waking up to a more appropriate sort of start and temperature range given that forecast for this afternoon. Yesterday, we were in the 80s in many spots. We had a feels-like temperature close to 90 in Memphis, but it has definitely cooled down quite a bit since then. Right now, we are at 75 for both the temperature and the feels like temperature, and that is something that I think is going to continue even into this afternoon. A very small, if any, difference between what it feels like outside and what that actual temperature reading is. I think all of us are going to experience 65 for the dew point, lower than many starts to the days that we've had recently. So another encouraging sign there as winds continue out of the northeast at about 9 miles per hour. So that'll be something that we do look forward to seeing and encourage another sort of day here, and even on Friday, 2 consecutive days where we do have those cooler conditions in place. We're even in the 60s right now in Dyersburg and likely in many surrounding areas here not listed on the board. 75 in Memphis is the warmest right now, as we are going to end up seeing those temperatures here only still feel like, again, what it actually is being read as that value outside right now. Today, we should expect most of us to be in the 80s. A few spots, I think, could reach around 90. Memphis may be one of those locations, but for now, I do think we will stay at about 89 degrees. A little bit cooler further north, a little bit warmer further to the south. Not as much of a split as yesterday. We don't longer have any sort of heat advisories that may be sticking around for parts of southern and central Mississippi that creep up a little bit further to the north towards our area, as we are looking to continue the dryness as well. That front from yesterday, which did sort of stall out here, become stationary is the term we use, ended up producing a few showers, as you can see, over the course of parts of central and northeastern Mississippi, the development of which you can see does sort of resemble that line along where we do have those colder and warmer air masses. But fortunately, all of it did manage to stay away from us here in the Mid-South. And I do think that today, as that front makes once again very little progress in its southeastward movement, we are going to see just that rain stay off away from our area. Maybe a few little showers and sprinkles close by to spots like Oxford and around the southeastern edges of the region. But overall, not much of a difference besides temperatures being slightly cooler than yesterday. I think about 3 degrees below the average high of 92, pretty much right exactly where we should be for the low. 104, the record set in 1901. We won't be feeling anywhere close to that sort of record value. 92, I think, in Memphis is going to be as hot as we feel, which I think is going to be the lowest sort of heat index reading or peak heat index reading that we have had in several weeks here. Even those cooler days leading up to this point still have not proven to feature humidity levels as low as what we are expecting today. So overall, 89 degrees, very sunny, a few passing clouds, and those of us again in Mississippi, maybe just a few little sprinkles, but really anything that would be more so than a shower. Really no thunderstorm potential in the forecast here ensures that we are feeling fine as we do look towards the south and west, where Tropical Storm Bertha is still currently spinning out here towards parts of Texas. Close enough here by a few hundred miles to where we don't have to zoom out that far here on the view to see how it is relatively located in Memphis, but it is definitely going to be weakening and continuing to move away without any sort of influence on our patterns expected. The winds continue out of the east-northeast tonight in the mid-70s for lows. I think Friday does continue this sort of pattern for at least one more day, as temperatures will begin to rise more solidly by Saturday, and that is when I do think rain chances begin to make a more likely return into the forecast. Still some pop-up shower and storms of that variety that I don't think will cause any sort of worry for inclement weather, and nothing that I think is going to require a hard rescheduling or cancellation of outdoor plans. But the mid-90s do return by Sunday as the rain chances continue to drop once again. Mid to upper 90s for next week. You can see starting Monday and through at least Wednesday, we are going to be above 95, a heat index that will likely be back in the triple digits. But from now until at least Sunday afternoon, I think we will enjoy some relatively comfortable conditions, a more gradual change in the forecast as we do head towards later on into that stretch of the final days of the month.